After a series of fiery debates and meetings, the Joint Parliamentary Committee that was constituted to mull over amendments to the Waqf Amendment Bill has now adopted the draft report and the amended version of this proposed law. With a majority vote, 14 members voted in favour of the proposed law, while 11 opposed it. Let's take you through some of the key features. Now, the committee has backed inclusion of non-Muslims in the Waqf Board. Remember, this had been a matter of contention. State governments will now have a say in whether the property is of the state or it is a Waqf property. Earlier, that determination was made at the district level. Now, the new bill also backs a separate board for Bohra and Aga Khani communities. State Waqf Board will be including one member of Muslim OBC community as well. 2 Muslim women will be included in state and central Waqf Board. Tribunal decisions will no longer be final. The aggrieved party can now approach High Court within 90 days for an appeal. Women inheritance rights to be safeguarded in Waqf Alal Aulad, and a limitation act will apply to Waqf-related cases. Waqf Board must upload Waqf property details on the portal within 6 months, and in case of state versus Waqf dispute, officer above collector rank can conduct an inquiry. Now, the report is going to be submitted to the Speaker of Lok Sabha tomorrow, and Chairman has called on those who are opposed to it to submit their dissent note.
पूरी जेपीसी की जो प्रोसीडिंग्स हुई इस कमेटी के गठन के बाद आज तक, उसके आधार पे जो रिपोर्ट्स हमको स्पीकर साहब को सबमिट करना है, वो फाइनली आज हम रिपोर्ट प्रस्तुत करके अडॉप्ट कराएंगे और जो अमेंडेड रिवाइज बिल होगा उसको जेपीसी के सामने प्रस्तुत करके अडॉप्ट कराएंगे.
Now, the opposition has alleged that the proceedings of JPC were rushed and that the voice of opposition has been suppressed by chairman. They have now submitted a dissent note led by the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party, DMK, TMC and Uddhav Sena. They have all submitted a note that alleges that the bill is unconstitutional and against the right of minorities.
What about the committee adoption, and what was the ratio in which it was adopted?
We have
16, 11 and 16.
11?
Ruling, India 11, India block. Sorry,
Have you given your dissent note?
16,
Haven't you given your dissent?
Yes.
600.
You have submitted.
16, 11. Yes, 16, 11 it is adopted.
Okay.
We have
Brutal majority. What can we do?
I have given my dissent note. This report, the observation and recommendation of the committee are wholly perverse. Perverse why? Number one, statements of the witnesses have not been taken into consideration. What we have said during the course of the deliberation, that have not been taken into consideration. Now the question therefore arises is whether the stakeholders' view or our view which we have expressed, or the witnesses' view which have been expressed time to time, whether that, why did it not appeal to the chairman? That reason has not been given.
The AIMIM has also alleged that the chairman gave opposition very limited time, just one night, to read the final draft, which is over 660 pages long, a feat that is humanly impossible. Asaduddin Owaisi also claimed that the amendments are not in the interest of Waqf.
A voluminous report of 65 pages was sent to us last night, and it is humanly impossible for any member to read it and give the dissent report. But we have tried our best in this whole throughout JWC. We have pointed out very clearly that all these amendments are not in interest of Waqf. These will destroy the Waqf Board.
The BJP is lauding the bill and the amendments, saying that it is going to bring transparency as well as accountability to the Waqf and will also put an end to all the encroachment bids by the board.
It is going to bring in a lot of transparency, accountability to this management of the Waqf Boards. It is going to bring professionalism in the management of the Waqf properties, and it is also going to put an end to the encroachment by abuse of certain provisions of the Act that was happening. That is also going to be put to an end. So in that sense, I think this is a historic day, because the Waqf Act has, the report has been adopted by the JPC.
Rishabh, what next for this amendment accepted draft report?
Well, Priya, as we know that there were 14 in favor and 11 in opposition to the amended report the draft that will now be sent to the Speaker of the House in Lok Sabha, who constituted the JPC. After the draft is accepted by the Lok Sabha Speaker, it will again go back to Law Ministry, who in turn will put forward amended bill to be discussed on the floor of the House. Remember, opposition has been very clear that the way this amendment draft has been pushed and in their voices have been bulldozed on them, given that it was more than 650 pages, 655 to be precise, and only one night was given to people to put forward their dissent. It is something that is unacceptable and inhuman, and hence this should not have happened. So while the BJP and the ruling party, ruling dispensation is hailing this as a game changer draft, the opposition is in one voice saying that this is an unjust, and many of them even equating it to a tyranny of justice and parliamentary affairs.
All right. Now, given the contentions that the opposition is raising, how turbulent is the path of this bill going to be once it's presented on the floor of the House?
Well, so we have to see this way that this is an amendment. This is a constitutional amendment that needs to be done. And given that it has been sent to JPC, the path is not going to be very, very easy. Given that even few of the ruling dispensation parties, the alliance partners of BJP, they are not very clear about this bill, be it JDU, be it TDP. They have their own reservations to it as well. So it would be interesting to see how things unfold on the floor of the House. And that all depends when this is presented, tabled in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, whichever way government would like how things go from here.
All right. In all likelihood, this has to be tabled in the upcoming budget session itself. Thank you, Rishabh, for joining us with those details. We shift our focus to Maharashtra now.